Welcome to the first episode. Would you call it a pilot if it's just a podcast? Like pilot?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a pilot.
Yeah, pilot.
Kind of.
Well, it says like with a pilot, I feel like it's like more so you're hoping that it gets picked up, and then you
True.
get to run longer.
People get to see it though.
Yeah. So with me, it's just like it runs as long as I have money and a will to do things. So,
and however many people like you enough to come on too.
well, that's so. There's going to be 5 episodes of this show. Because I can count. That's how many friends I have in this world.
You got one hand covered.
Well, I got 2 hands covered. Yeah. So this is The Worst with your host Chad Austin, and my first guest is one of my best friends, probably my first real friend I had when I moved to LA. He was the chef at Lono.
Yep.
And also was the chef at probably every fucking restaurant in this town, because when we would drive around, he'd be like, oh, yeah, I helped open that place. Oh, yeah, I was part of that team. And I started thinking, Jesus Christ, is there a place that Sam has not worked in L.A. in the past 10 years?
I mean, there's a few, but.
So introduce yourself, Sam.
How's it going? I'm Sam. Chad and I met when he came to L.A. at Lono Hollywood, where we were working together and running that venue. And it's been more than a pleasure to have met you and become, not only as you regard me as one of your best friends, I regard you as one of mine as well, so.
Dude, we've had so many crazy nights and good times. And that doesn't even like count like outside of work. 90% of it was at a job where we were supposed to be doing work. And yes, we were doing work, but at the same time, like,
we enjoyed every moment of it.
Dude, the other night I was talking to my homie Eyesight, and we were talking about some random shit, and I brought up the fact that that one time that we were in the alley of Lono, and we were having a cigarette and other things, and there were 3 cops walked down.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that? And then one of the cops was so fucking buff he couldn't fit into his shirt.
Yep.
And all I wanted to do the entire time was roast him.
Yeah, he was ripping through literally the buttons.
Dude,
they're pulling apart.
I mean, like, I could have gotten more out if I wasn't afraid of the man's size and the fact that he was a law officer, but just being cool enough to ask a cop if his shirt came in larger than a schmedium or or if it came in adult sizes.
I can't remember why they were even there, too. I think it was a noise complaint.
No. They claimed that somehow a bum got on our roof.
Oh, that's right. They had to go. We had, the like meth head bum guy was on our roof, and they had to go and search the entire building's roof, because there's also 4 other businesses that shared this building. Yeah,
because like if all 3 of them were still standing there, I probably wouldn't have said anything to this cop. But being that, I don't know, maybe I just felt comfort in that we've had him outnumbered.
Yeah, that's true.
But we just stood there. I forgot that we were working that night, because we just stood there talking to this cop for like, what, a half hour?
We were in the middle of a shift, and we probably spent a good half hour, 45 minutes just standing outside talking to 3 cops about a crackhead bum on our roof. While
we were both intoxicated.
We weren't sober, that's for sure.
No. But yeah, this is just like the tip of the iceberg with just the random shenanigans that we experienced while working on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
Every day was something new. I watched Batman fight Spider-Man outside the bar.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So many people that we had to just kick out because they thought that it was the 1980s and they could just do coke at their tables.
Coke at the tables. People bringing in their own minis, so they would only get water.
Oh my God,
and
dude!
They would drink their own minis in the bar. You just see them with a bottle,
and they were never discreet about it.
No, the countless homeless just coming in to use the bathroom, and the hostess or staff being too afraid to talk to a bum, so you have to kick a bum out of a bathroom for literally shitting everywhere.
Dude, that was the worst, because like they would come up and tell one of us like probably like 15 minutes after they had already gone in there.
Because if it wasn't them telling me, they were telling you, because you're big.
Yeah. And I
just don't give a fuck. So I'd go in there and yell at bums, and they'll yell at me.
But see, the funny thing was there was one time when I actually let a bum into the bathroom because I thought he was just like an LA rich kid. he walks in and he has like a white shirt on that has like a few like small holes around like the neck piece, and then it's like a little tattered at the bottom, and he's wearing like khaki pants, and he looks like he hadn't slept in a day or two, but at the same time, like
neither had we.
Yeah, exactly. Like we looked like that all the time because we worked like 70 hours a week plus drugs. And So he comes in and he's like, and he just says, "Hey, my man, like, I want to get it," like, and very confidently too. "Hey, my man, I want to get a table for 3. I'm meeting my agent here. Blah 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 blah. Oh, by the way, can I use your restroom really quick?" And I was just like, "Yeah, of course, why not?" And I go put menus down at a table, and he even goes as far as like leaving his jacket at the table, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, no big deal." Yeah. And then like I get busy and I'm doing some shit, and then 30 minutes goes by, and someone's like, "Yo, there's just a guy camped out in the handicap stall
in the shitter."
And I look over and I see that dude's jacket. I was like, fuck, dude, I got fooled.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that this bum was actually like some rich kid that drove a Tesla.
I mean, they got smart up in Hollywood. The ones that weren't like, super methed out knew how to be able to get into places and trick people so they could use the bathroom and wash up or shit, whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
Yeah, dude. Now working on La Brea, I have a different type. There's this dude that lives in a tent right on the corner, and most of the time he's super chill. Like he'll come over and we'll hook him up with trays of ice and things like that. But then there's sometimes at night where he goes a little deep on the manic end and he just paces back in front of the restaurant and he screams in Israeli, and then sometimes lets out a curse word in English. And, the whole business is basically walk up and pick up your food or get it delivered to your car. So
it's all curbside
and he's just like pacing like he's opening up a fucking mosh pit.
That's
so all
awesome.
these people get really uncomfortable about walking past him. But he's a tiny little guy in tights and like really short jean shorts. And, I mean, loose cannon, sure, but I think he's harmless for the most part.
Most of them are really. I mean, I'm down the street from you on Melrose now.
Yeah.
The Melrose bums are fun.
Dude, the Melrose Street in general is just wild. Like
it's insane.
Like
it's never changed. Pandemic did not change.
No, it didn't change
Melrose
shit,
Avenue
dude. Because I've come to visit you and the homies over at the taco, and like you're standing there like safely waiting outside for your food, and the street is popping like nothing has ever changed. All these young kids in their wild ass fresh gear.
The cars going up and down constantly. All the stores, everything's packed. It's fucking insane.
It's wild too, because
you get Crazy Steve walking through the middle of them, literally just fucking screaming at a tree. The guy just stops and screams at trees.
Dude, I remember when we were.
I don't think he likes leaves.
Dude, I mean, who does?
Right.
I mean, all they do is fucking crowd up my backyard, and I have to sweep them up constantly because my fucking daughter won't do anything.
Yeah, that's why I don't have a backyard or a daughter.
11 years old, and I still can't get her to do shit. I asked her to clean the cat box the other day, and you thought I would fucking. I mean, it was the worst thing ever,
Yeah. Josie doesn't like cleaning, bro. I know
Josie doesn't like doing shit, dude.
I wonder where she got it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do things, but I do them under protest most of the time.
Out of spite.
Yeah. I most of my life is lived out of spite.
Yeah.
Like I got good at doing one thing out of spite. And this is a true story. Like I started in a tiki bar like 7-8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And my very first day, after 30 minutes of training on just the 8 drinks we had on the menu, a guy comes in right when we open and he sits down. And then there's 3 old ladies, and they start asking me questions about the bar, and I don't have a fucking clue. Like half of the shit, like all the liqueurs and whatnot. At the time, I didn't know. Like before that, I was a club bartender, fine dining bartender in Palm Springs. In Palm Springs, which meant that I just shook martinis and poured wine.
Yeah.
And then this lady's like, "What is a falernum?" And I'm like, "Beats me, lady. I don't fucking know." And then there's this nerdy ass guy behind me just condescendingly answering every question I get and just giving me dirty looks.
Yeah.
Finally, as he's paying his bill, he signs it, he writes in the tip, he hands it to me, and he goes, if you're gonna work in a historic bar like this, maybe you should learn a thing or two. And my blood fucking
boiled.
That's
all you needed.
And that's all I needed. That's all I needed for me to go online to Amazon and order a bunch of books and start reading them. And then after that, it was just like, all right, game on. I'll fucking prove to you that. And now I'm the fucking best at what I do. God damn it.
Kids, if you're listening, if you don't know something, Google it. You'll find answers.
Yeah.
It's all out there. Don't be dumb. Read a fucking book.
Yeah. Well, let's go read a book first. And then, also Google's a good backup. But
yeah, go book first, YouTube second.
Yeah. Which is something I wish my daughter would do. But right now, her fucking life is revolving around TikTok and YouTube.
Oh,
as you probably did, you see my dance?
Did you send it to me?
No, I posted it on Instagram, but Josie.
Oh yeah.
Josie.
I don't have TikTok. So
yeah, well, I don't.
If it's
I don't,
on there, I don't fucking know.
No, I don't have it either. But like Josie has it.
Yeah, of course. She's
a monitored account, of course, because she's 11. But she begged me for like 2 weeks. Dad, do this dance with me. Dad, do this dance with me. I was like, no, I'm not fucking doing a dance.
Fuck that shit.
I was like, first of all, like, anytime I see a fat person dancing, I laugh at them.
Yeah,
I was like, so I was like, I can laugh at myself, but I am going to be the butt of that joke now.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
Especially among us, the ones that love you and hold you so dearly in our lives.
I expect
any chance to exploit you, we will.
Legit, I expected so many more texts than I got about.
I was probably working when it was posted.
I'm sure you were, but.
And you know, I do care.
Yeah, like, you know, like,
unless Kyle was there with me, you guys don't know who Kyle is, but unless Kyle was there with me, we would have destroyed you.
I know, and I was waiting for it. I was just like, I was seriously on my guard the entire time. Like, as soon as I posted it, I then stared at my phone, just watching all the notifications pop up.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, what's this motherfucker got to say?
Bing, bing,
but
bing.
It was all positive, and I guess it makes sense because I was dancing with an adorable 11-year-old girl.
Yeah.
So, like, I was being a good dad.
I mean, and after Lizzo, you can't really fat shame anymore.
Yeah, well,
you can. It's just frowned upon even more now.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing, though. When it comes to Lizzo and her body type, I saw a picture that she posted in a bikini that was just, like, a full frontal ass. Her ass looks exactly like mine. But with melanin, like, so, like, I'm dead serious. So like,
that's disgusting. Now I know what your ass looks like.
I know, and isn't that awful? And my poor wife has to see it, and somehow she claims that, you know, like, she likes me the way I am, and I just don't fucking believe it. But the thing is, if I was to post the same picture,
which you should, side by side comparison,
dude,
Lizzo, Chad Austin.
I think that would be my shot to do like the Kim K thing and break the internet.
Yeah. Just call it cheek to cheek.
Ooh, that's good. That's good, dude. Okay, but
the ass comparison.
And seriously though, like, I know I've always been big, but during quarantine, I swear to God, this has done me no favors. And then on top of that, I also started working for the best barbecue joint in town.
Oh yeah.
So like, oh, dope. Like, I could just grab this little cup of mac and cheese and eat it really quick.
Just slam it down.
Or the fattiest brisket on the planet and just nom, nom, nom.
Knock down some beef ribs whenever you want.
I have been changing it up a little bit more in the past week where I'm just doing like greens and chicken when I'm at work. And
the collard greens that are cooked in straight bacon fat.
Well, okay. I didn't mean just like the collard greens. Like, we have salads too. I've just been doing greens in general.
Yeah, I've never had a salad there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't. I would never buy a fucking salad from there. But being that I work there now, it's just like, all right, I'll do I'll be responsible and I'll do the salad. Healthy, you know. And then I also finally busted out the resistance bands that I bought at the beginning of quarantine and never touched.
Yep.
So I've been trying to get better about it because I realized the other day that like my titties are definitely bigger than my wife's.
Yeah, your wife's pretty small, though.
She's a small person, yeah, but like
she's much smaller than I am.
Yeah, like even though like I shouldn't immediately want to grab my own chest when having sex, but for some reason I do.
That's the first reaction.
Yeah, you know, it's
we
just
to get a push-up, bro.
Oh, now we're
spice it up a little bit.
But yeah, dude. So it's just like, I don't know. How is the pandemic treating you? Because obviously it's not going too well for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's for everybody. It's different. It's not fun for anybody. Yeah. My ongoing joke in the beginning was I was like, this is working out really well for me. Got a new car. Was getting 2 days off a week. I never used to have that.
Shit.
I took a pay cut, but I got 2 days off a week, and I wasn't in charge of everything for once, which was nice. I just became a fucking tortilla boy, and I make tortillas all day, and get to see family more often. And I was like, this is dope. And I used to joke with everyone, like, the pandemic has been fucking awesome. I'm like, I know a lot of people are dying, but like, this is kind of sick. Like, I got a life again. I've never had that in the last 10 years. And then, I furlough myself and put myself on unemployment, keep working the same amount of hours, plus more hours now to do events to help make money. And like the last, month or two has been a little bit of a tank, if you will.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit of a downward spiral from the beginning.
I actually, this just happened. We hadn't talked about this yet. It's unfortunate, but I'm good with these things. I was like, I literally made it up until Saturday without any close deaths. Okay. And we know Kurt, our buddy Kurt, that had an issue with a coma, and he came out and he's fine. Yeah, yeah. So we just had an issue with another friend, same thing, and then didn't make it, and that was Friday. He passed Friday, and I was like, motherfuckers, like, not trying to make light of death at all, but no. I mean, that's but part honestly, of what we do with our coping mechanisms, especially you and I. But I was like, this motherfucker, man, I literally pretty much made it a year without anybody dying during this fucking pandemic, like. And he was actually very similar to you. He only did things out of spite. Very funny, big dude. You've probably met him a couple times before. Was he Austin? Tell me. Yeah. Is that because I saw? Oh yeah, dude. I did meet that guy once. And I was like, this motherfucker. He would. Right when we're all getting our vaccines now, we're all starting to turn it around. Everybody's starting to get back to the normal. Homie relapses and fucking has a terrible fucking time and dies on us. I'm like, dude, we were this close, man. This close. Why you got to do me like that? Yeah, and I was about to look like very optimistic about this pandemic again. Yeah, dude. Like, and that's the thing too. Is just like when Kurt went into the hospital. Yeah. My wife knows him really well too. And I mean, not everyone will know, but we're just gonna say names because we're gonna say names. But like, not everyone will know who he is. But if you're in the bar industry, you most likely fucking do. My wife was super nervous because Kurt was one of the people. He was one of the few people that would actually like check in on her and how she's doing. Oh, yeah. Like he was always very sweet. He's one of the sweetest human beings I know, and a terrible piece of shit too. But scumbag. But also can be very caring and a nice guy. So I wasn't immediately I wasn't worried at all. Yeah, like it didn't faze me at all. Like I wasn't like, oh man, my friend's in a coma, and then. We see all the updates from his brother. Yep. And then the first one was like he came out of the coma. I immediately just text Kurt. I was like, I was never worried because they say that only the good die young, and you're just not one of them, dude. Yeah, like, you're a piece of shit. So we knew you. Like we knew heaven wasn't taking you yet. Fucking cockroach. Like you're not going down in your early. You're not going down in your early 30s. Like you're going to be running amok for way longer than you need to. Yeah, my ongoing joke during that time was, another name will say that you guys probably don't know who he is in this industry was John, with John the mayor. And I was like, John ain't letting Kurt up there. He just dealt with Kurt for the past 7 years every fucking day running his bar in Miami. He's like, fuck that, dude. I finally got away from you. You can't join me. No. Like, trying to die? No. Yeah, so come up here so you can steal my drugs and alcohol from me up here. No, dude, I'm sorry. You're figured out down there, motherfucker. Dude. No, but that's so fucking true. But yeah, like this has been a trip, like, and honestly to the point where I was joking around with one of the other managers at my job where we're talking about like reopening for patio and doing all that kind of stuff, like slowly getting into it. And I'm just like, dude, in the beginning I was all for like, oh man, I miss people. I miss, talking to people behind the bar. But to be honest, now I don't even know if I miss people. Yeah. If I've just gotten too comfortable in this, but like I'm good just handing somebody a bag and saying bye. Yep. And then just being around like the core group of like staff that I have on and then fucking around with them and just going like I'm good not being a bartender anymore. I batch cocktails for a living and I mark invoices and that's life, like, and I'm actually chill with that. And you're good at it. I am. So I'm really fucking good at just, hey, I know how to multiply and do, and the best thing is the fact that I get to do this all the time now is I get to constantly throw it in my daughter's face about how much she'll be using math as an adult. Oh yeah. And then just don't give her don't go into calculus and all that shit yet. No, then she'll realize that's useless. Yeah, 100%. But she threw it back in my face. I go, one day we're talking about it because she's doing fractions right now, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like, yeah, I deal with fractions all the time. So we're talking about it, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. See, now I use it for when I'm making this drink, this, blah, blah, blah. And she looks at me and she goes, yeah, Dad, that's great, but do you really think I'm going to be a bartender? Yeah, like, Like, son of a bitch.
And I was like, that's great though, because I really hope that you don't end up as an adult bartender.
Don't do what we do.
Please.
Don't come into our industry.
Please, it's like shoot for the stars. Like aim higher, please. Because
keep drawing.
I before this was running a podcast that was service industry based.
Yeah.
And I just got burnt the fuck out on it. Like I didn't want to talk about the bar anymore.
That's all. And like when you work in bars and restaurants, that's all people that work in bars and restaurants talk about.
Yeah, and then also
it gets so tiring.
Also, and I'm gonna say this like dead into the camera. Let me. I had brand ambassadors on the show, and I cannot tell you how boring you people are to talk to, because you will not tell any fun stories because you're afraid to get fired. So
it's okay.
So I made the mistake of having one on and then never again.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like talking to somebody who's trying to become president.
Yeah.
It's just,
trying to be socially correct with everything.
Exactly. And I'm expecting them to like start doing the thing where they don't really point when they talk, but they just use the the knuckle nub, like, my fellow Americans. You need to buy this mezcal.
Yeah. Have you had this single varietal?
Let me tell you about my new tequila company here. Which, by the way, I want to work for Kevin Hart's tequila company.
I mean, yeah, you should.
My first choice was The Rock.
Well, so The Rock we have connections with.
Oh, you do? Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But and mainly I've realized that I have an infatuation with The Rock, and most people would say that it's because he is just
he's so svelte,
a giant of a man, and his nipples are always hard, and it's great, and you get to see all kinds of but really, when it comes down to it, it's that goddamn smile.
He's got a great smile.
It's intoxicating.
I love to smell what he's cooking, too.
There are so many ways we could go with that. But yeah, dude, it's really his smile. I find it to be extremely intoxicating, and I find myself just because most of the time Josie's awake and I have to watch kids movies, or at least movies suitable for children. So I find myself putting on the new Jumanjis a lot.
I was to say, how many times have you seen the new Jumanjis?
Yeah, and to the point where even Josie's like, Dad, we're watching this again. I'm like, shh.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Quiet little one.
I was like, you put some fucking respect on Smolder Bravestone, okay? I was like, have you seen the Smolder? Have you seen the intoxicating smile? I mean, it's enough to make anyone go gaga.
Yeah.
And I'm just the biggest fan.
I think you have better luck with Kevin Hart though, because the size difference. So he'll feel more comfortable.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I would kind of be like his Rock.
Yeah, you'll be like the Rock for him.
Yeah, I mean, Rock's
but white,
and
chubby.
Yeah, but still, there's mass.
But great smile. So.
Nowadays, yeah. New teeth. I moved to LA and I got new teeth.
That's a big step.
I just became one of those people. So I want to just get into. So we were just catching up right now, but there is a little bit more of a, I guess, rundown to this show.
Yep.
Where this show's called The Worst because we're gonna talk about the worst and most embarrassing, and all kinds of stuff that we can just. Most people would probably be too embarrassed to share, but we can just take a piss out of it and laugh.
Yeah.
And this is why I chose my good friend Sam here as my first guest, is because one thing that I've learned working in restaurants for so long is that the back of the house, people that work in the back of the house are just that much cooler than the people that work in the front of the house.
We try.
We
don't really. The thing is, we don't care.
Exactly. You just know how to have a good time, and you'll really just do anything to have a good time.
Yeah.
I know I said something about brand ambassadors being boring, but bartenders also, for the most part, try to be too cool.
Yeah, the whole thing is almost acting,
Yeah,
in LA, most of them are aspiring actors, so it works out to. But they put on a face all day.
Yeah, exactly. But for real though, it's hard to find a bartender that doesn't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And it was funny because as I was saying that, I instantly just got overwhelmed with this feeling of, God damn it, I'm on camera and I should have shaved my neck beard. But
hey, I didn't shave either, so.
Okay, good. All right. But yeah, so we're just going to talk about some shit, and we're going to see where it goes and where it takes us, and maybe one question will lead into something else that I didn't really plan, but that's life.
Yeah, here we go.
So let's just start it off on, something fun. Can you think of like your worst night of drinking? Like something that like it either led into an embarrassing moment or led into really bad decisions that maybe not are embarrassing, but at least, something to chuckle about.
I mean, there's one that always comes to mind when people ask about this. I can go down high school parties back in the day. We can go through college, which was insane. I went to Santa Barbara. It's one of the biggest party schools in the country. Working in restaurants and bars, whatnot. We have crazy ones, but there's one night in particular that always sticks out, which is, I've never told you the story, so you'll get a crack out of this.
Yeah. Let's do this.
It was when I was just a line cook back in the day. It was when I was in LA after this. I've been in LA for a couple of years, I think, at this point. And I was working at the restaurant that was at where the bar is at now on Melrose. We got out of work. We'd always go down to our local little watering hole afterwards. We'd always get there about like 1 o'clock at night or in the morning. And, they knew when we'd walk in what we were going to order. So we didn't even have to order multiple rounds. They just put like 2-3 beers up for each of us when we'd walk in, 2 or 3 shots. So they don't want to talk to us. We were all just cooks and chefs that were disgusting and loud and obnoxious, and they were at the end of their shift. They didn't want to fucking talk to anybody. But whatever. So we stay there. We get pretty tanked. In about 30 minutes, we all probably had about like 6 beers and 6 shots. And then we leave there, and I lived around the corner at the time, and there's an Astro Burger in between this bar and my at that time apartment. Yeah. And we would stop at Astro Burger all the time. If you guys don't know this, Astro Burger has corn dogs. They're delightful. Not this night, they weren't. So we get back to my apartment after stopping at Astro Burger to get everything to go, because I was around the corner. And it's me and like 4 other people. My roommate and like 3 friends. And we keep taking shots. And the only thing I had was gin. And it was on top of the fridge. It wasn't even in the freezer. So it was
warm
just
gin shots?
Taking warm gin shots after pounding, fucking 4 or 5 shots of tequila and 6 beers. Not a great combo. And then I chased that with a chili burger. I was like, okay. I don't know why that was a good idea.
Like
just drunk food. And then I remember, what was his name? I can see his face right now. It was one of my buddies that worked actually at the bar, came over, met us, and he brought some booze too, but I don't remember. It was like gin too, because he liked gin, but it was like cold gin this time. I was like, okay. So I'd pounded this chili burger down, and this is where the story gets embarrassing. Everybody else is like doing their thing, and I got a corn dog. And I was like, oh hell yeah, I love corn dogs. So I like smashed down this corn dog, like probably 3-4 bites. I eat very slow, people, so this is like a big feat. So I 3-4 bites, smashed down this corn dog, and my buddy's like, oh, shots? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm fine. I got some shit. I got stuff in my stomach. Take a shot. It gets about halfway down, and I do like it's like the quick gag, and I'm like, nope. And I just went to my sink or in my kitchen, and I just vomit everywhere. And just like, I kid you not, like a half of the corn dog whole, not even chewed, came out, and it's just in there. And we all stopped and just stared into my vomit filled sink, like, and it was like, you didn't chew the corn dog? You just deep throated and swallowed a fucking corn dog?
Just glizzy
and
gladiator.
We're all wasted, and I'm just like, oh. And it was just really demoralizing to know that I could do that if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean...
not that it's something I've practiced often.
It's also good to know that you can do that.
It could be a good skill if I ever get put in a bind.
Hidden talents, like...
But
shit gets real out here.
That was definitely one of the ones, and my buddy that worked at the bar was gay too, so he was like, hey. I'm like, no. No, I got a girlfriend, like, we're good. But that was, it was like disgustingly demoralizing and embarrassing and just hysterical when like I vomited because I was wasted and ate a chili burger and then chased that with a fucking corn dog and warm shots of gin. But looking at your own vomit with like a whole corn dog coming out and knowing that was inside of me. And no bite marks either on parts of it. It was impressive.
That's actually fantastic. I mean, I have not a similar story. I don't have a similar story.
Us and corn dogs, huh? That's our thing.
Dude, yeah, 2 guys, one dog. No, yeah, but probably well, the first one that pops to in my mind of me having like a terrible night drinking was my 15th birthday.
Oh, nice. This is gonna be good.
And I had this like close group of friends. A few of them were like newer friends, and one of them had been the homie for years.
Yeah.
So it was still, especially at 15, it was still in that like mode of like, I need to show these fools what's up, that I can handle my shit, you know?
Yeah.
So my homie Pete brings me a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Great.
He brings me a 750 of Jack Daniels, and he hands it to me. He goes, "Happy fucking birthday." And just to be the fucking cool, and this was like 4 p.m. Like my birthday party with my friends had just started.
Yeah.
And he hands me this bottle, and I just unscrew the cap and I just start chugging, and I get through about a third of the bottle in the first chug, and I do the thing where like I swallow it and then I can just feel it all rising back up.
Yeah.
And then I just go and I just hold it down. Not today, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're not coming back up. Like, I'm not puking in my friend's bedroom, dude.
I mean, you would have if you had to.
But yeah, like I was like, nah, dude, play this fucking cool, bro. So I drink that, and then the rest of the night, I was just belligerent. We
15-year-old belligerent.
Yeah. Like we went to multiple friends' houses.
Yep.
Which all didn't speak to me for like a week after that.
Sounds about right.
This one girl lived in like this really nice house, and you know how like, well, in the desert, when you have a nice house, most of the time, like your landscaping has to be on point too, because all like the desert rocks and all this shit. So a lot of these places had like these custom slab stairs done where they're all like jagged and weird, and they come down in this angle. I fell down the whole flight of stairs, and I didn't know it until the next morning, because I woke up with a bruise on my back like this big.
Amazing.
And I woke up in my friend's sister's bedroom, who was she's like half sister, and I think she was like 6 months older than him.
Yeah.
And I woke up in her bedroom in the middle of the night, and then went into the bathroom to puke, and then I woke up again at 7 a.m. when his dad knocked on the door, and I just hear, pop, pop, pop. Hey son, you mind if I get in there and take a shit? And I pick myself up off the bathroom floor, and I go into his room, which is where I just thought I was sleeping the whole night, really.
Yeah.
And there was like 3 other people in there, and I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Like, where did my spot go? Like, have I been in here the whole night?
Why is everybody else in here now?
So then finally, after everyone else wakes up, because I don't know about you, but there's something about me, when I get really hammered, I wake up super early.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, you gotta wake up at like 5, 6 in the morning the next day.
So yeah, like I was up like 4 hours before everybody. I'm out there, pretty hungover, hanging out with homie's dad, just shooting the shit, smoking cigarettes together, whatnot. And then they all start waking up. I'm like, yo, I was like, I really don't understand what the fuck happened last night. And they were like, well, we could only keep you in the back. They had like a Ford Explorer.
Yeah.
Like, we could only keep you in the back of the Explorer because you needed a place to lay down constantly. So basically you were like the dog behind like the cage and everything. And there was probably a good 45 minutes where you just did not stop repeating that you wanted us to drive the car into the wash and kill us all. I was like, all right, so far checks out. Sounds like me.
Yeah. Sounds like a 15-year-old Chad.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, well, and then also, like, you spend the other half of the night trying to hook up with homie's sister. And I was like, did it work?
Yeah,
and
I was in her room.
And then she just looks at me and laughs, and I was like, all right, it didn't. That's cool.
Didn't work.
Whatever.
You tried. You tried, though.
I tried.
Yeah.
I guess I shot a lot of shots.
Yeah.
And none of them panned out. I just woke up with a giant bruise on my back, a pretty big headache, and stories that other people had to tell me.
Yeah, that's right, though.
Because fuck.
That's how a 15-year-old birthday should go.
I think I did it right.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you really think about it, like where I come from in like the Palm Springs area, and the area I grew up in was like La Quinta, Bermuda Dunes. I always tell everybody, like, I would never want to raise my kid out there. Like, maybe nowadays it's a little bit better, but when I was a kid out there was fucking nothing to do.
Yeah, you just drink and do drugs.
You either just did only school and you just kept your head down and did that, or you found people to party with.
Yeah.
Because back then all they did was cater. They just catered to the old people that were coming to golf or die.
Yeah.
So it was just assisted living homes, retirement centers, senior living. There's a place out there called Sun City. They literally mapped out their own city where it's just a senior city. It's fucking wild. And then and then like the most golf courses fucking in the country, basically. So
I don't even golf.
I was a number 5 golfer in California when I was 12, but then I gave it up because it was what my dad wanted me to do, and I said, "Fuck you, Dad."
Yeah, fuck you, Dad. Sorry, Dad.
Love you, Dad. Yeah. All right, rest in peace. See, and that's a fucked up thing is because we can talk about death and joke about it. Like my dad passed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like this coming weekend, it'll be 2 years.
Yep, I remember.
And since the moment he died, I've just been joking about it because I don't know the right ways to feel, so I just go with how I want to feel.
Exactly.
Which is and also I know my dad was kind of a sick son of a bitch too, so like I think that he would be doing the same shit.
If you came out of his penis, he definitely had to be a sick son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, right?
Because he created this.
He created a fucking monster.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's funny because like for a while, I was nervous about like being this humoristic about my dad's death in front of my mom.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't know how sensitive she was on it. Like my mom's a pretty like even keeled person. Like she never really ever really shows emotions too much.
Yeah.
Like everything's always just like meh. Yeah.
Yep.
And for the most part, I think I get that from her, and then I just get my like little glimpses of like blind rage from my dad. And the other day, like last week, she was at my house, and she's sitting there on her phone, and one of my dad's buddies, who she's friends with on Facebook, posts, "I really miss Paul Austin."
Yeah.
And she shows it to me, and she just looks at me and smiles, and she goes, "We don't." And I was like, "Holy shit, Mom!"
Damn, Mom.
Yeah, you're a savage, and I love it.
Cold.
I fucking love it, dude. Thanks, Mom, for making me feel better about making a hoodie that says Dead Dad's Club on it and shit.
Yeah, and telling my dead father to fuck off.
Yeah,
mine's not dead, but his.
Amongst other things, the things that I've told my dad to do since he's passed.
Yeah.
All right, so next one, just something a little fun. Worst concert you've ever been to?
Worst concert I've ever been to? I've been to a lot of concerts.
Yeah, me too, man. Is there anything that stands out as like either like bad experience with the people you were with, or just such a bad show that you wanted to bounce?
I mean, I'm trying to think of like if there's a specific show. Usually, especially the group I grew up with down in San Diego, we all liked the same stuff, so it was really easy. And like we would.
That's tight.
We were all together. So the core, your high school group of best friends that you always hang out with. So those shows and stuff, we would always go see music. So it was pretty easy with the people I was with. I would think probably when I think about it, I had a rave phase. Which was awful, and it was like right when all the big rave companies were huge, as you know from being out in the desert.
Yeah.
It was right when, but there was like the 10 main ones before, like there's mainly just 2.
Yeah. Like they've all been swallowed into
something else.
Yeah.
And I forget which one we went to. I think it was one of the Halloween raves. And, I was like 15, 16, probably took way too much ecstasy. And there was one, all I remember, I really don't remember it at all. We had to sleep in a car because none of us could drive afterwards.
All right.
We slept in this car afterwards too, which then that's a whole nother end of the story. All I remember on this one part was there's one act, like one artist I wanted to go see. Nobody wanted to go see this other artist. If you've never been to a rave, they're fucking huge. So I was like, you know what? All right, we're going to set a meeting point. We're all on fucking mushrooms and ecstasy and all this shit. I'm like, all right, we're going to have a meeting point. Everybody's phones are charged, set an alarm. Doesn't work when you're on ecstasy and mushrooms. So I left the whole group and then got lost on my way to the artist I wanted to see. Finally get to the stage I was supposed to be at and missed the artist completely. So I was already pissed off about that. So I was like, my experience was already just tanking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you know what? It's about the time to meet up with everybody. So I managed to get back to where we were supposed to meet up. I waited for what I thought was like an hour. It was like 5 minutes. And I was like, where the fuck is everybody? And I dipped. I'm like, I'm just going to go find them.
Just
so
like,
I
these guys are
literally
taking way too long.
Yeah, I literally spent my entire time at this rave, not getting to see the one person I wanted to see, and walking around a rave with thousands of people looking for 3 people in the thousands of people with everybody on drugs and makeup and lights and shit. And
you know how many times I've done that at fucking Coachella?
Yeah, and I basically just walked around a rave for the whole time. So I spent, you know, like $300 on tickets to go to this fucking event.
just walking around looking for your
really
friends.
fucking high off mushrooms and ecstasy, and then not even enjoy it because I walked
shit in
around
the park.
looking for my friends the whole time. And luckily, like towards the end of it, I remembered where we parked, so I just went to the car.
Oh. Yeah, fuck it.
And that was my like whole, I think it might have been Winter Wonderland or whatever rave that was. But that was probably the worst concerts. It's not as funny. It was just so depressingly sad. I thought of things in my life are just depressing shit. But yeah, like I'm like I think the thing that pissed me off the most is I spent so much money for
that's a huge fucking bummer because
cheap.
Any type of rave or festival.
I just walked around like rubbing my face, looking for my friends. I had like a light up mouth guard so I didn't grind my teeth. So I'm just like staring at my.
You're just like, where the fuck is it?
Yeah, just looking cracked out of my mind, looking at flowers for a minute, and then be like, oh, find your friends, Sam. Go find your friends, and then just never finding anybody. And like, I'm gonna go to the car, and I didn't have a key to the car or anything, so I just sat outside in the cold in a desert parking lot for like 2.5 hours with like a bottle of water, and then they were all like. One of them showed up. They're like, "Oh, we came to check the car. We figured you might be here." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "All right,
we've
cool."
We've been at the lookout point.
Yeah, like we've been waiting for you for like an hour. Like we figured you just got lost. It's like
Sam, you set the spot.
Yeah, I was like, I was looking for you guys. They're like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" And then we're all fucked up, so we couldn't drive. So like 5 of us piled into a 4Runner and slept in the back of it.
I bet that was super comfortable. Dude, the first thing that pops into my head for like a really bad concert was actually my very first concert.
Nice.
I was 10 years old. My dad took me to Kiss's farewell tour.
Oh,
which was like their 3rd farewell tour, but also wasn't their last farewell tour because they've done like 6 more.
Another one coming up.
Yeah,
soon,
they've
too.
done like 6 more so
they were
far.
Supposed to, and then we had a pandemic.
But it was Kiss, Ted Nugent, and Skid Row.
Oh, nice.
And like, I knew who Kiss.
It's a good start right there.
Yeah, I knew who Kiss and Nugent were because of my dad, but like he wasn't really into like the 80s hair metal and shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know who Skid Row was. So we get there and it's at like Blockbuster Pavilion. I think that's what it used to be called. It was like that outside amphitheater that was in San Bernardino area.
Oh, yeah.
And Skid Row's up and they are fucking killing it. Like just lighting the whole place up, and dude's voice is insane. He's all like, ah, you know, and all that shit.
It's really getting up there.
Yeah. I mean, like half the time he just sounds like they're in a vice grip and he is just belting it out for his life, and it's sick. Yeah. When you see it live and you see somebody like hold that note.
Yeah, they can actually do that.
Yeah. So like, and my dad made sure that my first concert was like as cool as could be. So he got like the VIP passes, and this is when my dad was like running I think it was. It must have been before Red Robin, but he was running a restaurant. So like the Budweiser guys would always just come in and drop off tickets, you know? Yeah. You want to go to this? That's how I went to Coachella for free for the first like 8 years of its existence. Was just, hey, we want
free tickets. To
like, hey, Paul, put Heineken on tap and we'll give you these 4 passes. And he's like, yeah, for sure. And he just handed them to me.
Great.
And so so the next up's Ted Nugent, and my dad was just like, oh, son, like, you need to watch this, man. This is one of the best guitar players in the world. You're going to be blown away. This is going to change your idea of music forever. Yeah. He comes out and like, I mean, I don't think he was fucking it this bad, so it must have been his guitar tech, but it sounded so bad. Like it was just so crunchy and reverby, and it just wasn't the right tone.
Yeah.
And even as a young kid, I just remember hearing it and being like, this can't be right.
You're like, Dad, I thought you said this was good.
But then right when he's going into his second song, he says something that even as a young man, I knew was not okay to say. and my dad was just like, hey, let's go backstage. And he has a song called Cat Scratch Fever.
Yeah.
Which was just about getting pussy.
Yeah.
And he hits like this riff on his guitar and he's like, he's like, after this song, and then think about the harshest word you can think of for a homosexual man.
Okay.
Starts with an F, ends with a T. Exactly.
Faggot.
So he's like, and direct quote from Ted Nugent, he's like, even the faggots are going to be eating pussy tonight. And I was like, whoa, dude. Like, you said that to a crowd of people. Like, even as a little kid, I wasn't like, hey, this guy cusses, he's cool.
Yeah.
Like I was with most things that I saw when I was watching movies that I shouldn't see, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but it was just like, oh, dude.
Like, ooh.
And then
look at your dad, like his reaction.
And then on top of that, to just be that bad on like playing your instrument and singing on top of it, it was just like, yeah, dude, I don't even want to be out here anymore. So we went and kicked it in the back and got to meet Skid Row, which was cool.
Dope.
But like that intro to a performance of somebody who I was supposed to hold so high in my head, like will never leave my mind.
No, that's gone forever.
What do you think? Okay, so think about like the genres of music that you like.
Okay.
What is either the genre or the band that is probably technically the worst or just really hated on that you absolutely love?
Oh. I mean, I did buy a Creed CD once.
Do you still listen to that Creed CD?
No, but I still own it.
Is it the Human Clay one?
Yes.
With arms wide open, wonder the sunlight.
I mean,
I could easily sing in a butt rock band, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, so I can't say I don't own that. So there's that. Guilty pleasure music.
Pleasure music. Where it's just like like there's certain people that if they got into your car, you wouldn't want them to hear that was the last thing played. Like,
oh well, for sure. There's always like the most common one that I check when like certain people get in the car, especially if it's like the homies. Like, make sure Norah Jones isn't playing, because I put on a lot of Norah Jones sometimes.
Yes.
I'll be like, oh no. Like, check the phone on my Spotify real quick. Like, oh, okay,
don't connect.
90s underground hip hop.
It's like, oh yeah, dude, all day.
That's all I'm listening to.
You heard this jam before? Yeah,
I wasn't crying. I'm fine.
It's like, nah, dude. It's just like what Raekwon says in this song.
Yeah.
It just hits me. I don't know why I keep on picking up this coaster.
Because there's nothing else to grab.
It's just like what Raekwon says in the song. It really gets to me.
Yeah.
It's like
it hits me deep inside.
It's not Norah Jones singing, I don't know why you didn't call.
Like, I don't know why either, Norah.
It's like, I'm sorry, dude, but
give me one more chance.
I have, especially like, I don't know, recently I've been super getting into and like absolutely fucking loving it, and for the most part owning up to it. I haven't done it in front of any of my black friends yet, but yacht rock.
Yeah, I love yacht rock.
I'm becoming like really involved doing it into a point where it's like my two favorite genres of music right now are gangster rap and yacht rock, and I've been trying to like figure out like what this like dichotomy, like what this thing is, and I started to just kind of finalize what the truth is around that. Is like, I grew up with enough struggles to relate to rap.
Yeah.
But I'm also a corny enough white guy to know the lengths that you have to go to get pussy, or even like try to impress a girl. And if you look at yacht rock, that is all they do.
Yeah. Like,
they sing the most bogusly corny, like cheesy ass lyrics.
100%.
And it's all for the girls.
It's definitely not. I mean, it's for them to get the girls.
Yeah, because
but they knew what they were doing. They didn't mean any of what they said.
Like, Kenny Loggins was so just high on cocaine, and if you've seen that man, if you know what this man looks like, he is like 2 shades off from Charles Manson.
Oh yeah,
he's not fucking pretty, but that voice and the money and the drugs and what he sings about, and then also. I was listening to it in the car with Josie the other day, and we were driving to go get some Taco Bell because I'm a garbage human and my life doesn't mean anything.
It's fine. I had Wendy's 2 nights ago.
Okay, good. I like how you keep on bringing me back to reality when I start sinking. But there's a song that I forgot he made, and it was for the Top Gun soundtrack, which makes Hanging with the Boys.
Yep. Yep.
Dude, it's just like everything's better with the boys.
Yeah,
like...
what's so great about you bringing up one yacht rock into specifically Kenny Loggins, because we just talked about concerts. One of my favorite concerts I've ever been to, which was my first concert.
Yo, you saw Loggins?
When I was like 10 years old.
Oh,
my
shit.
mother, Kenny Loggins had just had his first child or something, and he made a Winnie the Pooh.
Christopher Robin. That's the name
Robin
of the song.
album. Yeah, and so it's a whole album.
Yeah.
And that had just come out. And growing up, I was a huge Winnie the Pooh fan. I read all the books. I had all the stuffed animals, all that shit, yada, yada, yada. And my mom was like, oh, Kenny Loggins. This is when I lived out here in LA. And he was playing at the Thousand Oaks, like, amphitheater thing, whatever, the concert hall. And then my mom's like, cool, I'm taking Sam to go see Kenny Loggins. He just had his kid. He did not play one fucking song from that album. He went straight into all of his 80s yacht rock. Did not play one thing.
Just played the bangers.
Just played the bangers. And I remember, like, there's a opener. I was really little, but I remember my mom, she brought cotton balls for my ears, blah, blah. It was my first ever concert. Just like make sure I don't, like, blow an eardrum, whatever. And about, like, 30 seconds into Kenny Loggins, he's got up there and he's saying whatever. And then he's just like, fucking this, fucking that, blah, blah, blah. And just starts dropping F-bombs. Like crazy. And my mom's like, oh, nope. And I just remember she pulled out like 3 full cotton balls and just like stuffed them.
She's like stuffing your ears, and then she's singing like the happy parts. And she's like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Nobody worry about
Basically.
And you're rocking back and forth like, Mommy, why is he saying all of
what
this
is
stuff?
he saying?
What is this?
You hit me when I say that. No, that was, the Kenny Loggins thing that reminded me of that.
That's fantastic, dude. The only yacht rock band. Is that the only one? No. So, like, because they're technically, like, they jumped into it. But I've seen the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, Doobie Brothers are great live.
And I've seen Hall & Oates.
I saw Hall & Oates. I saw Hall & Oates and Tears for Fears at Staples Center. No opener, no nothing. Tears for Fears, straight into Hall & Oates. That night, I didn't go to a bar downtown that we know of and steal a golden octopus.
Oh, nice.
And like 2 paintings off the wall.
Which are also nice. But, dude.
Sorry if you guys listen to this. I can't return it anymore.
Trust me, nobody listens to this.
That's the first one. Who am I apologizing to? Fuck you guys. I stole your fucking octopus.
Dude, but when I saw Hall & Oates, it was at a casino in the desert.
Nice.
So, like, almost half of the place is, like, papered with all the people that just gamble, all the degenerate gamblers. So all these old ladies. And, man, I have never seen so many just like horned up.
Just saggy titties everywhere.
Horned up 60-plus-year-old ladies just, I mean, grinding on their men, like running up to the stage, shaking their tits. Dude, it was wild. Some guy was easily in his 70s with like one of those really thin ponytails that like just starts right here and goes down.
Yeah,
and then he's balding on top.
Good rat tail.
He passed me a doobie, and we bonded for a minute, and like, I mean, it was the funniest experience just being around like all these older folks that just wanted to rage hard, dude. Like, it was fantastic. Let's see, what do we got next? Stam. I know you have at least one good story about either shitting your pants or almost shitting your pants.
There's a lot of them.
Because I know you too well.
Yeah, we both, unfortunately in our lives, this is a common occurrence that we deal with, which nobody should be proud of.
But for some reason, you wear it like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Literally, Saturday.
Saturday?
This Saturday. I literally had to run from my car into work, and I threw my bag into the office and didn't say hi to anybody, and I was like 40 minutes late onto the line because I legit almost double parked in the middle of the street because I couldn't find parking. But that wasn't what the story I was gonna tell. But that literally is Saturday. I had to like run, and everybody was like, "You could have just gone like other 5 minutes from work. Like why didn't you just turn around and go back home?" I was like, we were in it to win it at that point.
Like, I
already circled the block once for parking. There's no turning back
once
now.
Home's in your rear view, it's just like, all right, I got to get to my destination now.
And on that comment will bring us to this story that you know all too well of when I did shit my pants walking from same place I live now to Lono, which was the bar we worked at together. And
roughly it'd be about a quarter mile, half a mile.
Yeah, it's I smoked cigarettes so at the time.
Yeah,
it was one cigarette. So if you've ever smoked a cigarette, that's how long it takes
to walk from A to B.
5 to 10 minutes max. And yeah, so I left the apartment, And I'm walking. It's maybe like, what would you say, like 8 blocks?
Yeah,
tops, like city blocks.
Yeah.
But 8 blocks from my apartment to work. I got about 3.5 blocks in and knew I was in trouble. I was like, well, I got to take a shit. And I got about 3 blocks from Mono where that church is.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I felt like a bubble, and I was like, I think it's just a fart. I'm gonna just very lightly squeeze this thing out real quick, and I'm taking the risk, but whatever. And I totally blew that opportunity and just shit my pants. And I'm like, I'm fucking 3, like, God damn it. But we had an event or something going on that day. I'm like, there's no like, turning back.
Yeah, you had to get there at a certain time.
So I just clenched tight with just muddy cheeks and just walked up. And then the good thing about this being the area that this happened to me on was it was, Hollywood Boulevard. So it already smells like shit. So nobody can smell you. So I didn't worry about any of that. And everybody walking around is either, a homeless crack addict, meth person, or some tourists. So nobody's going to recognize you walking around.
Yeah. No one's going to stop you.
I could be full clinch, awkward, just shit my pants walk the last 2 blocks to work.
I wish I was in a car watching you walk down the street, just fully.
Just clammed up. And then, got in. Same setup as Saturday. Walked in, threw my bag into the office, didn't say hi to anybody. Everybody on the line's just looking at me like, hey, chef, didn't say shit. And I just ran into the bathroom, basically got naked, like the bums when they would bathe themselves there, and fucking bum bathed my ass. Luckily, the shit didn't leak through into my jeans that day.
Well, there's you got to see the silver lining in everything.
So I hid my shit covered underwear in the trash can there. Went back because I forgot to grab a bag so I could bag up my shit underwear and then walk it out to the dumpster all the way outside and throw it away. And then I had to work 12 hours fucking freeballing it on a line. But
my favorite part, and it's just a minor thing that you left out, is because Lono was a gigantic place and you had to walk from the back. To walk from the back, you you had to go down a flight, a little 3-step, and then you walk down like a large corridor, the dance floor and middle room, and into the bathroom. And it was right before opening the restaurant, so I was walking around like lighting candles and shit. So I was in the back where the DJ booth is by the dance floor. So Sam, before getting to the bathroom, had to walk by me. And just like he mentioned with the kitchen, he didn't say hi. He just looked at me and said, shit my pants, and just kept on walking. And it took me a minute to even realize what he said. I was like, well, that's fucking weird. Like, why didn't he stop to talk to me? And then I saw you walk into the bathroom. I was like, and then it was one of those things where it all processes really fast.
Oh, he wasn't kidding.
Oh, shit my pants. He shit his pants. Oh, okay.
Oh, this grown ass man shit his pants walking to work.
All right, so we're running low on time, so I'm gonna get to the last little segment, and it's just which is the worst. I'm gonna give you 2 cents. It's like it's kind of like would you rather, but I want you to just pick the worst of the 2 instead of the one that you'd want.
Okay.
All right. What would be worse, losing your eyesight or your penis?
Penis.
Do you want? How do you like? Okay, so
I think I could live blind.
You think you could live blind?
I've been blacked out enough.
Yeah, well,
like if you don't remember, the same thing as not seeing it, right?
I mean, and the thing
similar.
The thing is like, okay, so
also wouldn't your other senses get heightened? So like, you become like a kind of superhuman.
Like the only thing, I mean, I guess we would go on disability, right? Because our jobs require the eyes.
Yeah, no, I definitely couldn't work anymore, so I'm just reaping that government money.
Okay, so that was my only major concern with the blindness was like, I only know how to do one thing well.
Yeah, and I need to be able to see it.
And it's like I guess like once things open up, I could be the blind guy that does stand up, but
yeah. I mean, I could start a YouTube cooking show for the blind.
Dude, that'd be hilarious.
They won't be able to see it.
But that would be fucking hilarious and just be like...
Sorry, not sorry.
Like, that was my finger.
Not sorry.
That was my finger.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the heightened sense thing, it's like, if you lose your dick, you just lose your dick. You don't gain anything from it.
No, you really...
I don't get disability.
No.
I just now have a stub.
Yeah.
Or like a bag that I pee into that's in like...
Yeah, dude, that just wouldn't be fun.
No.
Having to go to a Nickelback concert every weekend for the rest of your life, or never having pizza again.
Oh God, I love pizza so much.
I know, that's why I picked this for you.
I've been making pizza like every day, actually.
Like and like what, and like even like the prime white pizza, because I know you love that shit. Like you never have any variation of it, any variation of the pie.
I'd say I would go to a Nickelback concert once a week.
Yeah, you have to every weekend. That is your plans. Like, hey, bro, what are you doing this weekend? Be like, dude, I got tickets to Nickelback.
Yeah, Nickelback. I'd do it. I'd take Miranda. It's her favorite band.
Is it really?
She loves Nickelback.
Holy shit!
That's the only way I'd be able to get through that.
Okay, having Donald Trump as your social media advisor, like he is the one that tells you exactly what you should be posting at all times when you're going to post something, and he also. Because he has, like, you know, he's just basically the executive of your account, he can post whenever he wants to under your name. Having him as your social media advisor, or having to watch the film Cats every day. Have you seen it?
No, there's a reason I haven't seen it. Because I've just heard and I saw the preview of the CGI. No.
Dog. It's horrifying.
I think we're going with former President Trump here on this one.
I'm telling everybody.
At least if Trump's your social media advisor, you know it's going to be comedic.
It's going to be hilarious. And also, I'm telling everyone
this right now. And if you know it, you don't have to believe what he's saying.
Of course.
Who gives a shit?
I mean, I've never believed anything he said once. I just take it as a joke every time he...
Exactly.
Before he got kicked off.
I could live with that.
Because, like, Cats... Yeah,
before he got fired.
Yeah. Cats, I'm telling you this right now, like, they're...
Isn't James Corden?
Yeah, he's a fat cat in the show. Dude,
I never want to see him as a cat.
I didn't want to see any of these people as a cat. Like, and also like, why are some of them just cats with fur, and why do some of them wear coats and hats, and why the fuck is somebody as talented as Idris Elba in this? And
I didn't know he was in it.
Oh, dude, yeah, he plays like kind of like I want to say like an evil cat or like but dude, I'm an animal lover and I'm a cat lover. Like I have two cats.
I've got cats.
I have had cats my whole life, and I swear to fucking God, if a cat ever walked up to me that looked like one of these, I would Michael Vick that motherfucker. Like the horrible things that I would do to a creature that looked like Taylor Swift as an animal. It's just, I mean, like my brain started going.
Swift's in this too?
Oh yeah. My brain started going to places that I never ever thought that it would, like with the things that I like, killing an animal.
Yeah, no, Trump, you're with me, bud.
It's really, really terrible. Hey, have your grandmother dying, like today, or driving away from Taco Bell with the wrong order.
Oh, grandmother dying today.
Yeah, right.
Because if I'm at Taco Bell, I'm either drunk or way too high and turning back. You
don't turn back. That's the thing. Is
you're
like,
screwed.
And my wife doesn't understand this. Like even when I'm sober,
you can't live that shame.
Yeah. You don't make Taco Bell food important enough
to turn
around for.
Be like, fuck. My Crunchwrap Supreme's not in here.
Yeah, it's like oh they or like even like they forgot to put no tomatoes. Like if you're the person that turns around to get that corrected or get a missing item,
yeah, you need to rethink your life.
Everything is so sad.
Yeah, it's already sad enough, but not Taco Bell turnaround sad enough.
Okay, and this is a custom for you because you're a chef. Having for the rest of your life to cook with only dull and broken kitchenware. Mm-hmm. So your knives are dull, your fucking ladles are broken, everything, and you just have to make it work.
Yeah.
Kind of like we did at Lono. Or losing your keys every single day, right? And not realizing that you've lost them until you're on your way out the door.
Oh. Dull broken equipment.
Worst, right?
Yeah, dull broken. Yeah. I can break into things.
Yeah. But like hotwire a car though?
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
If I have my phone, I know who to call.
Yeah, that's true.
I can call somebody that can. I know some people that can hotwire cars for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's true. We do have a few people.
We've got some people.
We have a few people we could call. So that like, and to be honest, like because like I have very cheap like knives at my home.
Yeah.
And I've gotten used to just like fucking around and cooking with what I have. And then also I've worked in a few places that you just never really had the funds to buy new equipment when you needed it. So you just make it work.
We're used to that.
We're just used to that. Like there's the type of person in the world that, you know, like works in a place where everything is top of the line and that's all they expect. And then there's the people that just make whatever work. And I know that you and I are both the resourceful type.
Yeah.
Well, my dude, it looks like we are about done because I can't afford more than an hour in this place.
And I'm not paying for it.
I know you're not. You're my guest. So just like Dustin Diamond's life, this podcast is coming to a screeching halt. And
thank you for having me on.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you being the first guest.
Yeah. And anytime we get to spend time together is a highlight to my day.
And
week,
right, like because we hardly ever get to see each other anymore. It's like a stop by the bar every once in a while. But yeah, man, this has been fun. Do it again with you soon.
Yeah, you just
whenever
you give me the call, I'm always ready. As long as it's on a Monday.
Yeah, well, I mean, I basically just got to keep it like on the days right before work, you know. Yeah. So let's just do this.
Beautiful.
Thank you for listening to listening or watching the first episode of The Worst with Chad Austin. This has been Sam Hoke. We're out. Peace.